Alright, so now we're ready to take the fuel injectors out. So they have these clips on them that hold them stationary. Just get a screwdriver in there and just push it out like that. Now these can be a real pain to get out. So here's the way that I'm going to do it. I'm just going to put this screwdriver under here and then just pry up on it with both hands, and it pops right out. Now otherwise, if you're trying to pull these out with your hands, it can really be difficult. So I'm going to clean the screwdriver off, and I'm just going to carefully fish out this O-ring that was left over. And then I just have one more to remove, and then we're going to put the new ones in. Alright, so we got our new injectors. Let's see here. I'm going to keep the front on until I put it back until I'm ready to put it back in the car. I'm just going to push and twist until it's in there, and then we're going to put the clip on, make sure it's facing this way. Actually, there's only one way it can go on, so because there's these little grooves in here that accept the clips, so that's nice. So now we're just gonna do the rest, put the rest in just like that. Alright, so now we're gonna put these injectors back. Alright, now we're ready to tighten this to spec. So we're tightening it to 250 inch-pounds, and we're doing it in a spiral pattern. So we're gonna go this bolt first, and then here, 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 here. So we're going clockwise spiral. So we're just gonna do a little bit at a time. You know, you don't want to do too much, otherwise it gets sort of cocked to one side, and you'll get leaks. Alright, so that's in. I'm going to reach back and put the fuel line back in. I'm not really going to move the camera for that because, you know, it's kind of annoying to move the camera. So we're just going to grab this fuel line and we're just going to push it back on until it clicks. There we go. Alright, excuse me. Alright, so let's put the upper intake back on. Make sure in the back, just make sure the EGR pipes are going in. Oh, and don't forget about this vacuum line for this little actuator here. Do not forget about that. That one is easy to forget. Alright. Let's make sure these are going in. Yep. Okay, so let's get this bolted down. Alright, so I put the I didn't show this, but I just reconnected those EGR clips in the back just because I can't, it's really hard to get a shot of that. Then you just push them right on and they hold the top and bottom of the pipe together. So now we're going to tighten these bolts for the upper intake, and it's the same sort of thing. You tighten in a spiral pattern, so we're going to go here, 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 here. And we're just going to do a little bit at a time until they're all stiff. and then we're gonna tighten each one down to 105 inch-pounds. So on this side we have the back, let's do this one first. Intake air temperature sensor connector. Make sure that clicks in there. There we go. And then we have a vacuum line here, and then we have a vacuum line here, up here. Push that on. There we go. And then we have this side bolt. Let's just get that in there. Likewise on this side, vacuum line here, and then we have the other side bolt. Now if you find that these won't thread in, it might have been a good idea to thread these in before you tighten the middle down. But you can always move the bracket, this bracket around. You just have to loosen their bolts a little bit, and then you can move it. They give a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. And then up top here, we have this vacuum line. Goes on like that. So now we're going to put these front brackets on, or these front bracket bolts on. Okay. And then we have this middle one here. This one's kind of hard to get at. And then we have this electrical connector. Can't forget about that guy. There. Finally in the front we have this last bracket. Alright, so we're in the back now, and we're going to put the re-bolt on the throttle cable linkage. Actually, I think before I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this off camera, is put the throttle cables back on. That way there's no tension, and I don't have to push the throttle plate up. Again, I'm doing that off camera because it was really tough getting that camera in there in the right spot, and I kind of just want to get this done. But it's pretty much the same as taking it out. You just have to slide it in from the side. But what I will do on camera is put the PCV valve vacuum line back on, if I can. Yep, there we go. Okay, I put those cables on. I don't know if it made it any easier to do it with this unbolted, because I still had to sort of push the throttle plate, so who knows. Damn it! Dropped the bolt. Okay, I got another bolt. The only time it's worth looking for the bolt you dropped is if you don't have a replacement. Otherwise, just get another one. Some of you might be saying, Matt, why aren't you using a socket for this? Well, I don't feel like going across the room to get it. So, here I am. Alright, there we go. Alright, and before we put the airbox on, whoops, we're gonna plug in the throttle position sensor and the idle air control valve. Sorry the camera shut so bad, but there we go. Alright, so now we're going to put the air assembly back on. So I'm just going to take some silicone spray and just spray the inside of this flange so it goes on easier. And I mean, and it really goes on easier. Like, silicone spray is the way to go. Now we're just going to slide this back and boxes back where they go. And then with the silicone spray, it should just slide right on. There we go. And now, I'm just going to tighten up that clamp bolt in the back off camera. Okay, and the last thing is to connect this vacuum line to the airbox.